Good evening, I'm Stephanie Greppling, and I am here at the 20th Sarasota Film Festival at the Sarasota Opera House at the opening of Class Rank, directed by Eric Stults. Stay with us tonight as we speak to all the producers, directors, actors, so stay tuned as you will see a wonderful evening. Mark, over the last 20 years, what is the most significant memory of the Sarasota Film Festival?
I would say one time many years ago, Gus Molasses was walking down the street. I'm actually teasing a buddy of mine over here. Anyway, one of the most significant things, well, the significant thing is that each year we've been able to sustain it. You know, when the highs and lows of the economy, the highs and lows of Sarasota as a city, and we've made it through 20 great years. A lot of the sponsors have stayed with us for 20 years. METV has been unbelievable, and I really mean that. I mean, it's made a significant difference to everything we do here at the festival. It's provided a great record of what's gone on, and we're so proud of them. But, you know, we're just really excited that we're going to be here for another 20 years. We're in the process of building a new facility for the film festival. So, like it or not, we're here to stay. We're going to grow right along with the city.
I heard a little rumor that Sarasota on the Sun Coast is one of the top 5 film festivals in the United States. How does that make you feel?
It upsets me a little bit because, I mean, we're dealing with that little one out there in the mountains of Utah, but that's really an industry festival. People coming from LA, New York, they're selling their films. We have quite a bit of that. And we've had a lot of films produced and introductions made here at the festival. Now with the changing media, what people are going to serialized content, Netflix, Hulu, all this nonsense, Amazon, it's easier to make films. In fact, tonight we're doing our first 20-hour film festival. Actually, it's a misnomer. There's 20 hours making the film, 20 hours editing it, so it's like a 40-hour film. A lot of people have 48-hour film festivals. We've got some kids, so I want them to sleep. Now that we're mostly fathers, we want to make sure our kids sleep for at least 4 hours a night. So we made it 20 hours and 20 hours, and we're going to kick that off tonight. So we're real excited about that.
One last question before
Sure.
I know you have a busy night.
Sure.
How do you think the Ringling Arts and the film building that they put together up here off
The soundstage.
Yes, the soundstage, how that influences the film industry in Sarasota?
Well, that's a really good question. That was the tax. We all paid for that. It was the taxpayers paid for that $1.7 million 7 years ago. I remember when that first happened, and we weren't sure it was going to happen, but it did happen. I'm not sure. We try to encourage our independent filmmakers to go down and visit the sites to see if they can use it in the future and make some films. But so far, they haven't connected with us on that, but we've made ourselves available for that. So who knows what's going to happen. How does it affect filmmaking? I don't know. We'd like to see it filled up, of course. It'd be good for the community. What's probably more important than having a soundstage is having tax incentives. And we sorely lack them in Florida in order to get filmmakers here. But it's always nice to have. And of course, the film program at Ringling is really quite good. So between that and State College of Florida and the Technical Institute here, which has a great technical film program, and all the cinematic people that move here and live here, including a lot of the independent filmmakers who come down and visit us in the festival, they end up moving here. We actually have a film community. We're going to have a thriving film community, I think, in the next decade.
Well, it sounds like the best is yet to come in the next 20 years.
Well, yeah. Thank you.
That's exciting.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
You're welcome very much. Thanks for being here.
Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
So we're here with Sandy Stern, and Sandy is is the producer of the film. Tell us a little bit about how this film is different, because you're working with kids. What are the challenges?
Well, what was interesting is that this is actually my third high school movie. So in my old age, I've managed to make 3 high school movies, and I promised myself this will be the last. But what I like about this movie, and what I think is incredibly well-timed for the opening night movie at the Sarasota Film Festival, is when we developed this movie and we were working on this movie, never in my wildest dreams did I think what was be happening right now in the way sort of change is being affected on a grassroots level across the United States. That's what this movie's about. And it's about kids in high school that are making a difference and are making a change. And it's sort of like I said to Mark Familio, I said, I don't think you could have a better timed opening night movie than Class Rank.
Yeah, I haven't seen children or young people stand up the way they've been standing up lately, so this is great, and the timing couldn't be better. But did you know at the time that you started working on the film that young people were going to let their voices be heard?
I wish I could say I was that smart in hindsight, but no, I developed it because I really thought there was, you know, as a producer, you look for something that's original, that has a voice, that has a hook to it. And as clearly I'm still reliving my high school days in some way, that I'm drawn to this material, that I thought this had something that I hadn't seen before. And now it's sort of like the perfect storm of timing, where sort of everything in the world is coming together just at the point that we're about to release the movie into the world. So it's pretty like a very special time.
The Sarasota Film Festival is ranked higher than it's ever been. What do you feel about being able to be at one of the film festivals that they say is among the top 5 film festivals in the country?
Well, I think the interesting part of it for me is I was here with a film when the film festival very first started, like almost 20 years ago. I was here one of the very first years, and the festival then was only 3 or 4 nights, and it was nothing like this. And it was sort of the scope and the amount of movies and filmmakers that are now coming to Sarasota and look at the Sarasota Film Festival as being a major film festival that you want to have your movies screen at and show. That's just a whole different change from 20 years ago.
What about the talent that you're seeing coming out of Sarasota?
Well, all of them, you know, I don't know what the talent that is based in Sarasota here, but, you know, I've always found it to be a very artistic and interesting and sort of ahead of the curve community. And that's what I always responded to that in the city.
We'll have to get you over to the Ringling School.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But, you know, it's just to see, even when I'm speaking to fellow producers and saying I'm going to the Sarasota Film Festival, there's just a different sort of spin on it now over the years, and there's a greater spotlight that's on it at the moment, and I think that's exciting for the community and for independent movies.
Well, Sandy, I must say that it's wonderful to have somebody here doing an interview with that was here 10 years ago.
And I look the same.
And he looks the same.
I look better now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, good to meet you.
Pleasure
Thank
to
you.
All right, we are here with Eric Stults, a man that needs absolutely no introduction because you've seen him on television, you've seen him in films, but now you're taking a little bit of a turn because you're going from actor to director. You've directed television before and other things, but is this one of your first feature films?
It is indeed, yes, and I think I hit middle age and thought acting is kind of a young man's game, and I still love the business. I love what I do, so I started directing, and I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to be doing it.
They say never work with animals or children, yet one of the first things that you decide to do is to work with a couple of kids. What prompted that?
Well, that's true. I think the script, I read the script, and before I finished it, I put it down and called the producer, Sandy, and said, please count me in, because I loved it so much. It reminded me of the old Cameron Crowe films, the Say Anything years, where all the characters are smart and funny and kind, and there's no sort of raunch within it. It's just people wanting to be better.
Sandy mentioned that this particular film brings to mind what's happening right now with young people letting their voices being heard to affect change. How do you see this playing into that?
Well, it's just an accident of fate that the two kids in this film are incredibly smart and frustrated with how the educational system is working. So one of them decides to run for office, and they get enough votes and they go to rallies, and there's actually a big response to these kids trying to change the system. And it does resonate. I mean, it's nowhere near as heavy or as unfortunate as what's been happening in Florida. But I think if the people and the kids seeing this film take anything from it, it's that, you know what, I'm going to speak up and I'm going to try and do something. Why the hell not?
What do you hope that the audience takes away from your film tonight?
Well, I hope that they take away that if they put their mind to something, they can push through and get it done, and maybe fall in love at the same time.
What's it like being a gingy in the movie business?
A gingy in the movie? It was terrible. Directors were always telling me I had to dye my hair so I'd look more like them.
That's something I always wanted to ask you, because I think red hair is fantastic. But you are different when you have red hair. Were there roles that you didn't get because of that?
Absolutely. I was constantly saying, he's got red hair, we can't use him. And I'd say, I could dye my hair. Now my hair is sort of gray, whitey. It's not really red anymore. But, I mean, redheaded men have a tough road, I'm afraid.
Well, we want to thank you for bringing your film here to the Sarasota Film Festival, because it means a lot to a lot of people, and particularly our young people with our Ringling School.
Well, I'm very pleased to be here, and I hope that Sarasota likes the film.
I'm sure that we will. Thank you. Mark, this is now the 20th year of the film festival. When did you come on board, and what do you think of the work that you've done so far?
Wow. 1998, the beginning of the festival, was started by Dr. John Welsh, who might be here tonight, I don't know. And this guy here was actually one of the twin girls that was born 10 years ago on the night of the Black Tie event at the Longboat Key Club at the time. And so, what do I think the work that's been done? I'm very proud of Bryn and her sister Camilla. That work was done at the film festival.
Well, let me ask her a question then. This is an important one. What do you think of your father? What do you think about your father, and what do you have to say to the people out there in TV land that are watching this tonight?
I am proud of him for the 20 years that he has done business with the film festival.
Well, I would say that she's absolutely upstaging you right now, Mark, so you better tell us where...
No, she's welcome to do it.
Let's talk about where the film festival is now in comparison to other film festivals. Where do we rank here on the Suncoast?
Well, I don't know if there really truly is a ranking. There are external people and groups that do rankings, and they say we're in the top 5, which is amazing. I knew that we worked very hard at trying to serve the independent filmmaking community, and that's really our focus, is the filmmakers themselves. So that probably distinguishes us from a lot of festivals, but we're very, very proud about what we do, and I guess it's paying off. It's paying off.
And the volume
is out.
And the volume of films that you're doing this year, I hear that there's over 90 feature films?
Yes, and I think close to 250 or more films in total. So it's a lot. It's a lot of films to watch, to screen, to program, to manage logistics with filmmakers coming in and directors. I mean, it's crazy, but it's a lot of fun, and we've got 10 more days of it, and then we'll see what happens. I think I'll die.
Hopefully not, but where do you see the film festival going in 20 years?
Well, it's hard to say because the content and the medium is changing, and the message is changing. I at home I watch Camilla and Bryn, my two daughters, gaming, and the interaction and the movies and the virtual reality in the living room, and I see all these things happening, and I know that the content is changing. It's going to change. They're also, of course, on iPhones and Google phones and Samsung phones and laptops and iPads. And this is how they're doing it. In fact, one of the films in the festival is by a famous Russian director. The entire film's made up of screenshots. And it's interesting because I think, God, that's boring. Then all of a sudden I realized kids' heads are buried in screenshots all day, so they're not going to find it boring. So it's interesting. It's an interesting concept, but it's an instructional one, and it's maybe a call to, call to arms. It's a warning. So we'll see what happens, right?
All right, well, this was Mark Famiglio, and we want to thank you, your lovely daughter, and her friend,
Chloe.
Chloe.
Elizabeth, welcome to the 20th anniversary of Sarasota Film Festival. Tell me a little bit about your project.
So it's a narrative short, and it's about a single mother and her 4-year-old daughter, and they spend one night in the oil fields of North Dakota just trying to survive. It's kind of in this desperate situation, so yes.
So that sounds really intense. What inspired you to do a film like that?
So I'm originally from North Dakota. In the past 5 years, we've had an oil boom. But then after the oil boom happened, the oil prices went down, and so everyone sort of cleared out, and the situation became very desperate for people. So also my sister is a single mother, and so I wanted to view what was happening in North Dakota through the lens of a single mom.
So drawing on some personal experiences and drawing on the community experiences.
Yes, definitely. It's very important to me that stories from North Dakota are out there in the world, because I feel like we don't get very many of those stories out there. So, yeah.
Well, that's great. I can't wait to see it. When is your film being shown?
It's being shown on Sunday at 3:00 p.m. And also on Tuesday at 3:00.
Wonderful. I can't wait to see it. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Have fun tonight.
Thank you.
All right, we are here with Sean Greenspan of Triforce, and Sean has been involved with this film festival for quite a few years now.
This is our 5th year as a sponsor. This is my business partner, Edward Fagan. He's the muscle.
Are you doing a film this year, or how are you involved?
This year we created one of the trailers for 332 Coconut, which is the new Sarasota Film Festival offices, co-work space. We interviewed Mark Sultana, who was the architect, and also Mark Famiglio, and you'll see it tonight, hopefully in front of every film.
How has the film festival progressed in the past few years? I know that we rank a little higher than we did for some time.
I think every year, the films are always amazing. I just think that every year, as the festival grows, the films grow as in quality. Like I said, they're always high quality, but as the festival sticks around, they find better films each year.
Are you going to do a film next year?
I certainly hope so.
We hope so too. Thanks, Sean. What is the name of your film? And in brief, what is it about?
So the name of the film is Sundogs, and it's about a single mother and her 4-year-old daughter trying to survive a homeless night in the oil fields of North Dakota.
The economy has been not so good for people that live in places like North Dakota. How bad does it get, and why is it important for people here on the Suncoast to know and be able to empathize, hopefully, with someone like the heroine of your story?
Yeah, I think it's incredibly important. I feel like in the last couple of years, the Midwest has, there's been a lot of unemployment, and specifically in the area of North Dakota, we've had a spike in homelessness, and I think it's important for everyone across the United States to understand and to, like you said, empathize with people who are in this situation.
For you, is this personal? Was there something that drew you to cover this type of a film?
Yes, so I'm originally from North Dakota, so that was off the bat something that I wanted to make a film about. And also my sister is a single mother, and I used her in the film actually. She's the main character, and my niece. So they are non-professional actors, and they are the leads in the film, so yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing something that's so close to home.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
My film is called 50 Words, and it is Sarasota-based, shot and filmed all locally, and it's going to be in the Florida Shorts 11 on Saturday and Sunday.
That's wonderful. Well, congratulations. Are you a Sarasota girl?
I am. I was born and raised here, and I was excited to do this film because it incorporated nearly 100 locals, actors and extras. and it takes place in the theater, so it's very apropos to Sarasota.
And did you film it locally in one of the theaters?
We filmed it at the Players Center for Performing Arts and at Florida Studio Theater and their improv stage.
So tell us a little bit about what the storyline is.
The story is about Lily Green, and she is a theater actress, and she's going through a bad breakup. So she writes her bio in the program as a personal ad, seeking her perfect match from the audience, and then suddenly finds herself swamped with suitors. So,
Does she find the love of her life?
perhaps, or maybe you should come see the show and find out for yourself.
All right, so tell me a little bit about your film.
So my film started out after the hurricane. It's a horror film, and it kind of revolves around, bunkering down for the hurricane and staying in your house. And so what ends up happening is we have two characters who decide to take shelter for the storm, and they get a stranger who knocked on their door in the middle of the storm.
Is it a horror film?
It is.
And without giving away the plot, can you tell us a little bit about what happens? What are some of the complexities?
It's spooky, when you have people hiding from a danger outside, a natural disaster, and then you're not thinking about who you're inviting into your home. So that's kind of all I really want to give away, because anything else is, kind of too much.
You'll have to see the movie, but you said you're doing special effects makeup for this, yes?
Yes, so it was a horror film, so there's definitely some kind of gory effects. So yeah, again, I won't give away too much, but there's some kind of gory, maybe some blood effects in there. So,
how is doing special effects different from doing regular makeup on a film?
you're dealing with a lot more like textures and prosthetics, and a lot of it depends on like your camera angles and like how the camera and lighting is going to look. So it's definitely a fun process.
How long does somebody actually have to sit in the makeup chair preparing for that role?
Well, this was a short film, so we had a very limited amount of time. So a couple actors I had in the chair for maybe like an hour and a half sometimes. But yeah.
What do you want people to take away from your film?
I just want them to be entertained. I mean, we made this film actually for a contest. It was the 30-day film challenge.
Like the 48-hour film festival?
Yeah,
Right.
So we had 30 days to come up with this concept and kind of just try to make, something spooky. And I think it's a film that everybody can relate to, since everybody, at least locally, just went through the hurricane. And they can, relate to kind of that feeling of tension and, horror.
And last question, going through the application process of the Sarasota Film Festival, because we are one of the top film festivals right now, and we've been going for 20 years, how complicated was that? Because maybe you could encourage other young filmmakers to apply to put their film in the Sarasota Film Festival.
Yeah, so applying the film, I've applied to many film festivals with different films. I've screened at Sarasota before, and I've also been rejected by Sarasota. So you just got to try, and don't give up. And there's definitely a festival for your movie. So
Yep. Just keep making movies. Yep.
So why does choreography play into this film?
Well, it does have a bit of a musical theater vibe to it. So we go into a dream sequence bit, and I think the only way to express what was happening was to, of course, heighten it and bring it into that musical theater vibe.
How difficult was it to go from a stage setting to incorporating that into a film?
Well, that's a good question. This was my first hand at taking it from the stage to film. I do choreography for stage quite a bit, and so this was my first experience working with film, doing choreography.
A lot of film has to do with continuity, and people don't really understand that if you do a step and then you come back, you can't go back to that same step, or you have to pick up where you left off with B-roll. How much of a challenge is that?
Well, with choreography and doing dances, it is quite challenging because you want to make sure that you are hitting the exact pose that you came back from previously. So,
What do you hope that people take away from your film tonight?
I just want people to see how talented this community is as a whole, and I think when we have the right opportunity, we can really wow them. So I think it would be great for everyone to see like the talent of Sarasota.
What should other young filmmakers, choreographers, producers, directors, writers, what would you say to inspire them? Because there's a lot of young people right now, and it's difficult. You two are young, but for those even younger that maybe don't have the hope that we had 10 years ago or 20 years ago, what would you say, being young people yourselves?
I would say just go out there and do it. Things are so much easier now. We have our cell phones and you can videotape anything. Just, have a story and tell it as best you can and surround yourself with people who have similar goals and just do it.
I mean, I would say exactly the same thing. If you have the drive, you have to go for it, no matter what.
Good advice. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much.
So we're standing here with three beautiful women from New York that are gracing us at the 20th anniversary of the Sarasota Film Festival. Now you are singing tonight in your band. What's the band's name and what kind of music are you going to do that's going to wow us here on the Suncoast?
The band's name is Tangina Stone, my name. A beautiful band. The kind of music we're going to play tonight, it's a mixture of neo soul, rock and roll, elements in there as well, a little bit of pop in there as well. It's going to be amazing. It's live. It's very interactive. We like to keep the crowd involved in what we're doing. People can expect to just have a really great time, hear some great music, and be involved in a really great experience.
Do you think you're going to see people get up and dance?
I think we're definitely going to get people to get up and dance because I always ask, and it usually happens when I do. So that's the goal tonight. Get people to have a good time, have a great night.
Now you are DJing here tonight.
Yeah, and I will be emceeing tonight too. I just found out. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Again, trying to keep the energy up and make everyone have a good time.
So how is it going to work with the singing and the DJing? Are you guys going to work together?
So basically, Whitney will be DJing before I go on, and she'll go on after. So Whitney kind of has a set that's prepared to get people ready for the music, and then afterwards, when the music ends, the live music anyways, she'll continue the vibe. So it's going to be like that.
Have any of you been to Sarasota before?
No. First time here. It's so beautiful. We're just so in love with the city. It's captivating.
Well, we are very happy to have you because we understand that you also are celebrating something very special with us, the two of you. Tell us what you're celebrating.
We're engaged.
Our engagement.
Yes.
5 years. Beautiful. It's amazing. It's such a beautiful partnership.
Yes.
So we want to take this opportunity to wish these lovely ladies the most wonderful marriage, and thanks for sharing that with us, and thank you for coming to the Sarasota Film Festival.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
I'm here with Diana Bourne. We just walked out of class rank. Diana, what were your thoughts?
I absolutely loved it. It was super cute. The kids were adorable, great acting. Eric Stults even made it his own appearance, so that was exciting.
Yeah, there was a cameo by the director, which was a very, very nice surprise towards the end of the film. What was your favorite part of the whole movie?
Favorite part? Ooh, when the grandfather slept with the,
the editor of the newspaper. That was,
see it coming.
yeah.
Really funny.
Spoiler alert. Geriatric love.
Yeah, everyone's got to have love.
Everybody needs love. Yes, young, old, everybody needs love.
It was a great movie. I was happy to be here, and I loved it. This is, first time here. Great crowd, exciting, red carpet, an after party, so I'm excited.
Well, we're so excited to have you here. Can't wait to see what the rest of the night holds at the after party here in downtown Sarasota.
All right, Judge, you are not new to this film festival, and tonight you saw a movie that involved children. What resonated with you about this particular film that was directed by Eric Stults?
Well, I thought it was very timely. I thought it had a touch of Napoleon Dynamite in it, actually, which resonated to me. But I thought the way they portrayed the characters and high school students, the angst of growing up and maturing relationships was wonderful. I thought it was extremely well done.
Do you think it's timely with what's happening right now with young people exercising their voices and their rights?
Well, absolutely. But I mean, I think that's kind of timeless anyway. I think we've all been through that going back to I think it's not much different than really the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. It's always the same. The similar growing pains that you just see through the ages.
And did you enjoy the movie as well?
I absolutely loved it. It was funny and smart and clever and had wonderful messages about so many things.
Are you surprised that Eric Stults decided to take a turn from his acting to go into directing a feature film? Because we know he's directed some television before, but a full-length feature and about children.
Well, he did a wonderful job. I mean, I can't speak for how he came up for the idea, but he did a wonderful, wonderful job.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I love the idea of him like Alfred Hitchcock-ish doing a cameo. He played the father. I thought that was so cool.
I agree. That was very, very good. Yeah.
Well, we're glad that you liked it, and we'll see you at next year's film festival.
Absolutely. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I'm here with Terry Brackett, the executive director of Through Women's Eyes for the Sarasota Film Festival. Terry, we just walked out of the screening of the movie, the season opener for the film festival.
Yes.
What are your thoughts
I thought it was
of
fabulous.
Class Rank?
I loved it. It was fabulous. It was light. It was sweet. It was kind of a coming-of-age movie. I loved it.
I agree. What was your favorite part?
Oh, gosh. I think that I liked the interplay between the grandfather and the grandson.
Agreed. I love that two-generational play.
Right, exactly. And then I liked the fact that the grandfather fell in love again. That was nice.
They both fell in love.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Yes, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone the ending.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, it's great. I think it was a wonderful start to a festival, and I think everybody should be looking forward to what's coming next, because this is packed full of really exciting movies.
Tell me a little bit about what's to come about your programs through Women's Eyes.
We're very excited this year. We've actually pretty much sold out to most of our movies. We start off with Half the Picture, which is by Amy Adrian, and it is a documentary on the difficulty women have in the field of filmmaking, directors and producers. The discrimination, the sexual harassment, the inability to raise money and even for filmmakers who are established, who have shown that they can bring it to the box office. So that's a fabulous movie.
All very hot topics.
Yes. And then we have RBG, the Notorious RBG, will be our closing night film tomorrow night about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And that is totally sold out for both showings.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. We're very excited. And all of our films are shown a second time at the Sarasota Film Festival.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Terry.
Thank you.
And I hope you enjoy the rest of the shows.
I'm going to. It's going to be great. And thank you for having me. Thank you both.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful evening.
You too.
The Sarasota Film Festival is now in its 20th year. How have you seen this grown, and are you an aficionado of the movies?
I love the movies, and I was at the first film festival 20 years ago and have participated many years, and they're doing a wonderful job more and more every year.
How have you seen it change?
I think that they're bringing more young people to the movies, and also like this movie tonight was all about youth and what happens in the trials and tribulations of being young and growing up.
Now, you say that you were involved in the film festival before. What were you doing?
Well, we were sponsors years ago, and we've always been attendees, and we're glad to be here again this year.
What would you like to see happen over the next few years with the film festival?
I hope it grows more and they keep doing what they're doing. I think they're doing a great job. Thank you.
I am here with Chris. We just walked out of the screening, the opening film for the Sarasota Film Festival. What are your thoughts just walking out?
I think it was excellent. It was a great story, great acting. It was just wonderful. I had a great time.
What was your favorite part of that movie? Lots going on in that movie.
The favorite part was, one of the favorite parts was when the young kid kind of took over and said that he was going to run. I thought that was kind of touching.
Such a young man with high aspirations. Very inspirational, especially with what's going on and the youth movement going on right now.
Yes, I think both of them. I think Veronica was also aspirational in many ways.
Yes. High aspirations, wants to be a leader in the country.
Well, you got to reach high, so it shows again that if you have ambition, that you can make it. It was a great movie.
Well said. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Now, Michael is from Sarasota. Michael also happens to be in the Sarasota Opera. But tonight, you gave up your opera to come and see a movie.
Yes, I did.
Now, the movie, you're a young person. This particular movie was about young people. What did you find compelling about the film?
I enjoyed the main character. I enjoyed his personality, his uniqueness, and I enjoyed the overall story. It was very compelling.
Do you find that, did you find it interesting that Eric Stults, do you know who he is?
No, I don't know any of his other work, actually. So this is his first film that I've seen.
Okay, so he's been in a lot of movies as an actor, so he transitioned from an actor to becoming a director. And now he's here at the film festival by directing this particular film. So it's kind of interesting that someone did that. Would that inspire you to possibly go into directing? Because you are on stage in the opera. Is that something you might be interested in?
Well, directing is a very interesting thing. Personally don't see myself going into the entertainment directing, but my degree is hospitality management, and in that I will be, yes, directing people. So with that, I am inspired, yes, to even go into management and direct people.
Have you gone to the Sarasota Film Festival before?
Not to my recollection, no.
I would hope that you would recollect if you had been. But anyways, we hope that you enjoyed it.
Thank you very much.
Are you from Sarasota?
No, I'm not. We just came here for the film festival this weekend.
Fantastic. Well, this is the 20th anniversary of the film festival.
Yes, I know.
Are you here supporting someone in the film festival?
Nope. Just came to enjoy the city and watch the movies.
So this is actually proof that the Sarasota Film Festival is attracting people to come from other places to see us.
All over.
Now, you saw the movie tonight, which was directed by Eric Stults.
Yes, and we're coming to see him tomorrow to speak at 12 o'clock.
Tell me what you got out of the movie.
Oh, I thought the movie was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I loved the life lessons of it and what she did for him and what he did for her, and how his grandfather was talking about love and telling him to, that somebody makes you a better person. And I just loved the whole, that the class rank wasn't as important in the end, and it was just wonderful. And I loved the acting from everyone.
I think that we should send a copy of this to Eric, because I think that was just a fabulous review.
Well, thank you so much. I hope it does really, really well in theaters. And we look forward to seeing him speak tomorrow.
And we look forward to seeing you and your family come back to the Suncoast. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye. You went to see the film tonight. What did you think about the film? It was an unusual film, wasn't it?
This film exceeded my expectations by 1,000. I'm not kidding you. Every word of the dialogue was either meaningful, funny, poignant, and the acting and the cast were just amazing. I was very impressed.
Do you think that Eric Stults is going to start to get a really big following for his directorial somewhat debut?
I would think so, from what I saw.
So he was a good actor. Do you remember some of the movies that he was in?
I think he was in, oh gosh, it was a film.
With Cher?
Yes, that was it.
Mask. Yes, he's actually a very good actor. But I think sometimes when you take an actor and you turn them into a director, possibly it makes him a better director.
I would imagine so. And you could tell in the question and answer afterwards, his sensitivities that had been developed from acting came through in his directing.
You've seen the film festival before, I take it?
Oh yes, every year.
How has it changed? Do you think the quality of the films and the festival itself has become so much better?
I really do, and it's always a big surprise every year. You never know what you're going to see, what you're going to get, and it just adds to the excitement. I mean, every year I can't wait. I study the entire catalog, and I see 25 or more films.
It's a wonderful support for the Suncoast, too. Thank you for that.
Oh, absolutely.
Last year, your film headlined at the Sarasota Film Festival. Wonderful. The First Time Club, right? It was amazing. And it was a very, very serious topic. It was about kids and HIV. Tonight, again, we are revisiting children and serious subject matter. What did you think of the film?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it had a unique voice and a beautiful cinematography vision. And yeah, I liked it a lot. I thought it was original.
What do you think about Eric's directing?
I thought he had a gentle touch, a beautiful humor, and he seemed to get lovely and quirky performances out of the actors.
And with your makeup skills, right? You worked on a movie here.
And I do camera work as well, yes. But
and I hear that you're going to be doing a project with KT down the road.
Yes, I'm going to be the cinematographer for her new movie called Surviving Lunch.
And when does that begin?
We start shooting very soon. The 24th of this month is our first day.
And when can we expect to see that film?
We hope to have it premiere next year at the Sarasota Film Festival.
So we're going from this year to next year?
Yes, absolutely.
And who else is in this film? Do you have your cast yet?
Yes, we have a cast. We actually start shooting on April 24th. It's a huge project with hundreds of kids, and a lot of the community is involved as well. And we have a lot of professional actors who have done several feature films that are going to be starring in the film. Avery Arendez, who's done 2 features, and Clay Johnson is now starring in a Nickelodeon show. Charlie Barnett, who's in a show on Netflix. And we're really happy with our cast, yeah.
Do you want to give us a little hint about what the film's about?
Yeah, Surviving Lunch is a play right out of today's headlines about bullying and school violence, gun violence in the schools. And I think that's why so many in the community are rallying behind our film, because it's such a vitally important topic in America right now. Yeah.
Are you excited about doing the cinematography?
Oh yes, for sure. Yeah, we've been meeting for a couple weeks now, trying to get it planned with cameras and looks and styles, and I'm so excited to get started with it.
Well, we're very excited to be anticipating your film for next year's Sarasota Film Festival, so thank you both.
Oh, thank you so much, and have a great festival.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I met you two months ago at Stockyard when you first moved to Sarasota.
Well, we didn't first move. We first came down here. We've been here for 22 years. But it was so good meeting you, and you were so kind and generous.
But you are really making the rounds, because here you end up at the Sarasota Film Festival.
Yeah, we come every year. Yeah.
Did you have a good time?
Of course.
She volunteers, you know. She's probably the oldest volunteer at the festival.
So what are you doing at the film? How do you volunteer? What do you do?
I work what
the house.
The house.
She's
I work
a
at
house
the house
specialist.
specialist.
So did you watch the movie?
Of course, it was excellent.
What did you think about Eric Stults' debut with directing?
I love the movie. I thought he did a beautiful job. Very sweet, timeless love story between,
Adorable.
It was wonderful.
Adorable.
Yeah,
My
really
daughter
sweet.
recognized you.
And it was political. The movie was political.
Great. So good to see you.
It's good to see you too, and thank you for doing the
Thank
interview.
you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Alex.
There you have it, another successful evening for the first day of the Sarasota Film Festival. This is the 20th year, and Eric Stults made a huge impact on the community with his wonderful film. There are 9 more days, lots of festivities. The party for tonight is over, and we look forward to seeing you on METV. For METV, I'm Alex Redmond.
here live at the after party of Sarasota Film Festival opening night with Harry and Patty Kazanow. Harry, tell me a little bit about your involvement just the past 2 years here in Sarasota.
Yes, so it's our second film festival here at SIF. I joined the board this year. Mark Familio invited me to join the board. I'm really excited about that. I've been with the Hawaii International Film Festival in Honolulu for 34 years and been on the board and been on the film selection committees and help with fundraising and help with organizing volunteers. So I'm hoping to bring some of that experience here to Sarasota and help grow this into their next 20 years. And Patty has joined us at HIF. She's been there now 9 years. Former Floridian, moved to Hawaii, and now we moved back here to Florida. So we spend half our year in Osprey and half our year in Honolulu.
It must be so rough for you.
Well,
oh my goodness.
We're not snowbirds, we're sunbirds. We seek the sun out. We don't like winter. We travel a lot during the year in between. I'm a photographer and I shoot a lot, and I don't know, maybe sometime you'll see my work here in Sarasota. But I know that a lot of the marketing and success that we've had at HIF, I can bring to SIF. And I know that we can grow this film festival to make it bigger and better and greater for the people of the greater Sarasota area. And they've done an amazing job so far in 20 years.
Last year when we just thought we would come and see it, check it out. And we were so impressed. We were impressed with the films, and we were impressed with the people who came, and just talking to people in the lines. It's amazing the amount of knowledge that people have about the films here. So this year we thought we should really join. We should be cinephiles, and we really see the films. So we're going to see 33 films.
Yeah.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
Mark obviously picked a dynamic duo with a lot of experience, obviously from the Hawaii Film Festival. So we are very, very excited to have you locally here in Sarasota with all of your talent and your knowledge that you can bring to our community and bring film and art and this wonderful vibe here.
We're excited to be
city.
here.
We really like Sarasota a lot.
Yeah.
We're so happy we're spending
happy to
time
be
here.
Yeah, we're thrilled to be a part of SIF and can't wait to step it up and help them be successful in their next 20 years.
What is something about the Hawaii Film Festival that you would love to bring to Sarasota that you haven't seen?
Well, one of the things would be a monthly film showing for members throughout the year. So keep the members hooked up. We do have some on the beach once in a while, but they're not consistent. I'd like to see a film a month for members and to keep the film community alive, not necessarily having to bring in a star or a director, but to keep the community in touch with film.
And to have family films, to make have family films so that families can come and see it. Bring your popcorn, come and see a movie somewhere.
Yeah.
That would be a really extraordinary thing to do.
Well, you have your first attendee right here. I will be there for sure, supporting that project.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, and I think it would be fabulous to have additional venues available so that people can move around. At one time, we had 7 theaters in Honolulu where so you had to get in your car, drive to another film. They were located in neighborhoods. They brought out particular ethnic families that came out to see the Japanese film from the Japanese communities, the Chinese films and the Chinese communities, the Korean films and the Korean communities. I would love to see that happen. And they're doing an amazing job in schools here and with the Ringling College. So that's a really amazing thing that they're already doing. So I'd just like to see it spread its wings a little bit. Another thing in Hawaii that we do that we couldn't do here, of course we just can't, is we take our film festival to the outer islands. So after it's in Honolulu for 10 days, it goes to Kauai, Maui, and the Big Island. And so we're the only statewide, island-wide film festival, and it focuses more on Asia and the Pacific Rim, where this is more independent films, mostly from America, some European, and we love foreign films. So we spend our nights at home on Netflix and
One of the things
Amazon.
that Mark did when we first went in tonight, he asked for filmmakers in the audience to stand up, and I would say about a quarter of the audience stood up. That's really pretty strong. That's a great number of filmmakers, independent filmmakers who are here.
Yeah.
That said it all. That was great. And they got a big round of applause. So
Absolutely, as they should.
Yeah.
As they should.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so we're hoping to just help push this along into its next decade.
And have fun. Have fun watching
Enjoy
films.
watching great films. Yeah.
Well, I'm having fun being here. I'm excited. The best is yet to come with this dynamic duo. I think that this team right here is going to bring a lot to the Sarasota Film Festival. So exciting
Thanks.
to meet both of you.
Pleasure to meet you too.
Pleasure to meet you.
Aloha.
Aloha. I'm here with Catherine. We just came out of Class Rank.
Yep.
And you actually have a film coming out as well.
Yes, I do. It's called 50 Words, and Class Rank was actually very inspiring for me because it was my film is something of a romantic comedy, a feel-good movie, and Class Rank was very much the same thing. So it was wonderfully apropos.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So what was the one takeaway from Class Rank?
You know, I think it was have a vision and go for it. Like it was definitely, it had its own language, I think the film did, and it was very inspiring, and I really enjoyed the take on humanity. I don't know.
Yeah. I love the two gen love stories simultaneously.
Yes. Oh my goodness, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a younger couple and an older couple, and it was really cute to see how both of them developed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And also youth empowerment. I think that's really
Yes.
important right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was clear that the youth really knew what they were doing, and the older generation did not always.
Nope, they
But
did not.
That is life.
They threw us a curveball, but we won't give that little spoiler away.
Right, exactly. So
wonderful. When is your movie coming out?
My movie actually is premiering as part of the Shorts 11 Florida Showcase, and that is Sunday at 3, and then the following Saturday at 11 at the Art Ovation.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So
well, I'll definitely see you there.
Yes.
Excellent. So nice to talk with you.
Nice to talk to you too. Thank you.
Enjoy your evening.
I will.
Thanks. I'm here with Mark Palmer on the red carpet. We just came out of Class Rank. Mark, tell me a little bit about your film.
Yeah, 50 Words. It's a great film. It's a little roller coaster and a nice ride, a romantic comedy. Think Matthew McConaughey. You know, there's a lot of good moments in there, and it's about a woman who is looking for love, and she finds it really closer than she thinks is right beside her. So it's a nice story. Catherine Parks was amazing in it. She's a great producer, writer, director, and she gave me the opportunity to direct it, and I had a wonderful time directing it.
What inspired you during this creative process?
I think the thing that inspired me the most was really the story and how much, work she did to put into it. And I think like me trying to get it across visually onto the screen meant a lot to me, because there's so many things that happened in the film that wasn't written down. They were just visually communicated, and I love and live for those moments.
Wonderful. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it should come out. It's great.
And it's on Sunday.
It's on Sunday, on Saturday. Sunday at 3 p.m. and Saturday, next Saturday at 11. And it's called 50 Words. And honestly, you're going to have a nice little ride. It's a great little short. And if we're having no budget, it looks wonderful. It's fantastic. The actors and actresses are great. And it's really all local Florida people. I mean, not in Florida, but like local Sarasota, all original. From
Really?
start to finish.
All Sarasodians?
Yeah, all Sarasodians. So if you support Sarasota, come out and see our film. I won't let you down.
You hear it right here from Mark, the director of 50 Words. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you so much. All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Fantastic turnout. Couldn't be happier. The Sarasota people are so smart. They got every joke.
I was laughing the entire time. I loved every character.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
That's why we made it, to make you laugh.
And you did, truly, through the whole movie. I was cracking up. Even the dry humor. I loved the dry humor.
A lot of dry humor.
Bernard, his character was genius. From the way he rolled his pants to just the way that he walked, it was genius. I loved it.
Oh, I'm so pleased. Thank you.
And as far as, you know, the way that it was produced, amazing. I loved it.
Thank you. Thank you. We had it's a great joy to be here tonight with the movie and have it be the opening night movie and have this response, okay? It's like been really I love Sarasota, and there's a reason why I keep coming back.
Well, Sarasota loves the film festival, so you're welcome back anytime.
My stoner back, what's that? What's our sequel?
Stoner grocery clerk sequel? Right, somebody proposed it in the audience.
Okay, we'll take that and run with it and see what happens.
We'll see what we come up with.
Okay. All right, you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much. Well, that about wraps it up for the opening night of the Sarasota Film Festival. Thank you so much to Mark Familio, to Eric Stults for directing Class Rank. Stay tuned with us because we have 10 more days yet to come for the Sarasota Film Festival. Stay tuned. I'm Stephanie Greppling with Manatee Educational Television.